Welcome back to your class. So, as you all know, in my previous lecture, I discussed about social and religious reform movements. Okay, so in that, I discussed the first and most important person, that is Raja Ram Mohan Roy. Okay, so who was he? He was a reformer, and I divided reformer and revivalist. Okay, so in previous lecture we discussed about Raja Ram Mohan Roy, right, from a Hindu culture. Okay, so Raja Ram Mohan Roy, we learn more about him and we get to know how he was, right? So from the Hindu culture. And now another reformer, and his name was, I discussed, right? Yes, that is Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Okay, so Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was a reformer, and he believed that every Muslim should get a proper education, and he gave a lot of importance to the education and as well as a reformer. Okay, so you know the meaning of reformer, right? So in this video I'll try to cover all about the Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, and if time support us so that I can continue forward. So I don't think so. I'll just discuss in today's class all about what? All about a second reformer, that is Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Okay, he is also very important if we saw the exam point of view, and as well as if you want to crack any government exam, and if you want to know about him, so this is very important. Okay, dears, so we'll move on. Okay, so social and religious reform movements, and this is the second part. The first part I had cleared. So in the second part, without wasting a time, we'll go ahead. So here we'll learn all about the Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Okay, so who was he, and what made him to be a reformer, and what and all his principles towards Muslim. Okay, so he was a magistrate. And then in 1817, so when he was born was like in 1817, he started Aligarh movement. Okay, and he became like his main idea is he generally focus on the social reform among Muslims. Okay, among Muslims, I told you before that Sayyid Ahmad Khan give focus towards the Muslim. Okay, and then he said like Quran. So okay, his thought was a Quranic laws must be reinterpreted. Okay, so he says like Quran was written 1004, like Quran preachings. Okay, so it was came from the Allah, but the preachings and whatever, like philosophers used to say that women should under a four walls, women doesn't have a right to study, parda system, everything he discussed. So in this video, we are going to learn more about him, and believe me, you are going to gain a lot of knowledge about him, and you are going to love it. Okay, now I told you that he said like Quranic laws must be reinterpreted, and he was opposed on parda system and polygamy. Okay, so parda system. Before that, let me tell you about the polygamy. So you have known, like you are listening from your parents and your neighbors, that Muslim men have a right to marry four women, right? But let me make you clear over here. Polygamy is why it came. Does our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he did? No, like he did, but what make him to do? Okay, so here main thing we are going to learn, and main points we are going to learn. Okay, so here polygamy. Why the reason for the polygamy is during that time. Okay, during that time, what happened? They were slavery was there. Okay, and then wars were there. So, like 4,400 years ago, what happened? Slavery was common on that time, and wars was going to fight. So everyone used to go for the war, okay, for the religious war and for their own kingdom. So they used to go and they used to fight for their own religion, and because of that, a lot of women doesn't get a man. Okay, so they doesn't get a man. So that's the reason more females and less man. So that's the reason what happened in Islamic culture. They thought, okay, so we have a rights to marry more women. So less than four, more than one, not more than four. Okay, so they have a boundary, so they have to marry more than one, but not less than one. Okay, so here if they want to marry for the girl, so they have a boundary till four women they can able to marry. That's the reason. And next reason over here is slavery. Okay, so next reason is slavery. So here for the slavery, on that time slavery was like it was in a high peak. In this today there is no slavery and there is no war, right? So slavery, because of the slavery also a lot of women doesn't get a right. So to give the rights to them, okay, to save the girls and to give the healthy life to them, so that's equal rights and everything, they got married. Okay, सो यहाँ पे क्या होता था, जो पॉलीगमी जो है, पॉलीगमी का जो मेन मकसद जो एक से ज़्यादा शादी कर सकते हो और आपको राइट्स हैं, तो उस ज़माने में क्या होता था, वॉर्स वो बहुत ज़्यादा थे। सो वॉर के दौरान जो भी मेल मेंबर जो जाते थे फाइट करने के, सो लॉट ऑफ पीपल विल डाई ओवर देयर, सो वहीं पे वो मर जाते थे। तो जब वो वापस आते, सो फीमेल्स ज़्यादा होती थी और मेल्स कम होते थे। सो इसकी वजह से पॉलीगमी स्टार्ट हुआ। और फिर स्लेवरी, नेक्स्ट एग्जांपल है स्लेवरी। तो आपके ज़माने पे तो ना वॉर्स चल रहे हैं ना स्लेवरी, राइट? सो बट ऑन दैट टाइम स्लेवरी वाज ऑन द पीक। सो जो चाहे लड़कियों को खरीदता था और अपने काम के लिए और अपने मकसद के लिए वो अपने पास रख लिया करते थे। तो इसके लिए उन्होंने क्या किया, नहीं हम वीमेंस को इक्वल राइट्स देंगे और हम उन्हें शादी करेंगे। सो यहाँ पे वो पॉलीगमी स्टार्ट हुआ था ऑन दैट टाइम। सो सर सैयद अहमद खान ने इसको दर्शाया कि ठीक है ये रीज़न है। तो आप इस ज़माने में अगर आप 21st सेंचुरी या फिर कोई भी सेंचुरी आए, अगर आप एक से ज़्यादा शादी करने जा रहे हो तो इट्स नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल विदाउट द परमिशन ऑफ योर फर्स्ट वाइफ। सो ज़्यादातर यही लिखा गया है कि अगर आप किस दूसरी बीवी चाहते हो तो पहली बीवी की परमिशन होना ज़रूरी है, राइट? So if you wanna marry another girl, if you wanna marry another woman, so you should get a permission from the first woman and she should give a permission. After that only you have a right to marry. But today's generation, they have taken in another way, right? So इस ज़माने में like इस दौरान उन्होंने क्या like आपके जो मेल मेंबर्स है उन्होंने क्या किया, उसे अनदर लेवल में ले like अनदर लेवल पे उसे ले लिया और उन्होंने रॉन्ग थिंकिंग करना शुरू कर दिया। ठीक है, सो ये मेन मकसद अबाउट द पॉलीगमी। और नेक्स्ट उन्होंने डिस्कस किया हुआ है ओके अबाउट पर्दा। सो सर सैयद अहमद खान ने ये दर्शाया कि पर्दा सिस्टम कुरान में कहीं भी नहीं लिखा हुआ है। सो ही सेड देयर इज नो वर्ड सच एज पर्दा इन अ कुरान। ही सेड इन कुरान दे हैव मेंशन एज अ हिजाब। ओके, हिजाब करके वहाँ पे दर्शाया गया है, बट हिजाब माने अगर उन्होंने ये नहीं कहा कि आप सर पे ही हिजाब ओढ़ो या फिर हाथ पे अपनी ग्लोव्स कवर करो या फिर आप पूरे डेकोरेट तो हो सकते हो बट आपके सर कवर होना चाहिए, आपकी आँख दिख सकते हैं। अगर आप अगर कुछ अटायर पहन रहे हो या फिर बुर्का पहन रहे हो तो आपके आँख दिख सकते हैं। ये मेंशन नहीं किया गया है बट इसे रॉन्ग वे पे ले लिया गया। ठीक है, सो पर्दा is not there. According to him, he said like he read everything, right? So he said parda system is not there. No word in Quran such as parda. He said there is no way like hijab, like even today the debates are going on, right? like even today everyone is discussing about the parda system, everyone is discussing about the hijab, either it's okay or not. But I'm not telling it's not okay, it's right. But according to him and according to the Quranic culture, he is telling parda system is there, a word is not there, but पर्दा इज देयर, it पर्दा शुड बी देयर इन योर हार्ट, ओके। जो शर्म और जो पर्दा रहता है तो वो अपने अंदर रहना चाहिए। अगर एक मेल, ओके, ये जो मेल एक फीमेल को देख रहा है तो उस किस निगाह से, अगर फीमेल अगर मेल को देखती है वो किस निगाह से, इट्स ऑल अबाउट द आइज, ओके। सो हिजाब is okay, but even today's generation they have taken into another level and they fix that पर्दा is only applicable for a women, okay। so यहाँ क्या बताया जाता है कि पर्दा सिर्फ women के ही लिए बनाया गया है, ना कि मर्दों के लिए। so this is truly truly false। so ये नहीं कहेगा कि लड़की ही पर्दा करे। so आप अगर कुरान पढ़ने जाओगे तो उसमें ये लिखा है कि मोमिनो, ओके। so for all the person पर्दा और हिजाब is compulsory, ठीक है। so he against them, who against it? yes, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan। I am going very deeply because I want to make you to understand and I read it very thoroughly so that I can able to explain you, ठीक है। now we'll move on to the next, that is educational values। what next he did, so he gave very importance to the educational values। so he said what did he said, see, sir Sir Syed Ahmad Khan said our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam family was an entrepreneur, okay, they were educated, why can't we? so he said देखो हमारे जो प्रॉफिट मोहम्मद थे उनकी फैमिली भी एक एजुकेशनल फैमिली से बिलोंग करती है और दे आर एंटरप्रेन्योर, ओके, दे आर एंटरप्रेन्योर इन द सेंस दे आर बिजनेस वुमेन। सो ऑन दैट टाइम they have equal rights, why can't we give in this time, okay। so he said in our previous like our messenger prophet Muhammad, in their family all like women have was an entrepreneur, okay। and then next, European scientific and literature in in Urdu, okay। so here he gave more, he translated European scientific and literature in Urdu, and then Tahsibul Akbar, okay, Tahsibul Akbar, so he said it should be transferred the young minds, boys and girls, okay। so then his Sir Syed Ahmad Khan contribution towards it, so Tahsibul Akbar so Tahsibul Akbar was written by him and he said कि education equal rights should be given for the both men and female। so here you have to keep it in your mind, he said for both boys and girls, he doesn't say it for the boys, he didn't say it for the girls, he said for the both, okay। they should learn each and everything what's important in today's life, okay। so I am also telling from the first, you have to learn each and every point. It's not like what your parents learned previously, what your grandparents learned, that's important, but that is not very much important, so that's okay, but today's time you have to learn each and everything, okay, then only you'll get to know more about your roots, okay, more about your roots, from where you have came, what's your duties, everything you're going to learn through this education, okay dears। now then he started one school called Mohammedan Anglo Oriental College, okay, sorry, that's college, Mohammedan Anglo Oriental College, okay। so here Mohammedan, that is Islamic, right? Anglo oriented, so Anglo means that is Western oriented college, so Mohammedan oriented college in the year of 1875, okay। now he said values for the east and scientific for the west should be mixed, so he said see our Indian Muslims, or sorry, our world Muslims, whoever they are, they doesn't teach well. So they don't know the value of the education. Even today also, if you see to your neighbors from here and there, you have seen a lot of Muslims, they won't give more importance to the education. So they just say, क्या करेगी पढ़ लिख के, कभी भी हो जाना ही होगा, right? So they will say this word, okay, लड़की है क्या कर लेगी. So this is a bad word actually. So why can't, like, why, who are we to give a tag to the girls, right? So the Sayyid Ahmad Khan was the one who stands who stands for the Muslims. Okay. So Muhammad Anglo Oriented College was started in the year of 1875, and I am to this type I am going to say कि girls are not weak. I'm not criticizing for the boys. They are also good, but we are awesome. Okay. So girls, don't just sit at a corner and don't just prove your neighbors that you can't do anything. You can do if you are ready to do. Okay. Next, so he gave most important to the value of Eastern scientific of the West. So he says, see, when we are preaching about the Quran and Hadith, so if you want to learn that, you can learn, but please give details of the Western education. Western, like even like today we are learning English, right? So from English we are going to learn about the Western culture and Western behavior, how they talk, how they sit, how they behave, right? That's important actually. So if you wanna do something, so that's important. I'm not telling Indian culture is not good. Indian culture is super. So we have to accept it. But you have to know about other culture as well. That's called a knowledge. Okay. Then he started Aligarh Muslim University in the year of 1920. Okay. So then he started Aligarh University, and that Aligarh Muslim University, it starts from primary to PhD. Okay. So that school has, so this Aligarh Muslim University is very vast school, and that's a best school for the both men and female. Okay. It has its own campus. Okay. So it has own campus, and from primary to PhD. So if you join from the primary to PhD, you can be there only in the Aligarh Muslim University. That's a big university. Okay, in that university, English plus Urdu used to be teach. Okay, so English and Urdu, they gave more importance on that. So they are not going beside, like they are not neglecting the Urdu, they are accepting that Urdu and as well as English. Okay. Huh. So this you got understood, children? Okay, before that, like I need to ask you the question. So do you know, like, who stands, can anyone, like, you can ask your question to yourself, that who stands for the Muslim? That is, yes, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Yes. Then what did he said? He said that Quranic class must be reinterpreted. Why did he said that? He said, like in 1400, like 1400 years ago, that Quran, like that ago, the rules and regulations came for the women, and he against for parda and polygamy. Okay. So now next we'll move on to the next important thing, that is literary contribution. Okay. So what's that literary contribution? So change Urdu prose writing. So he changed Urdu prose writing. Sorry, so here, then he said scientific. Okay. Then scientific and essay writing started. Then he gave more focus to the scientific and essay writing. He criticized ghazal. Ghazal mane, those who will say about the beauty of a girl. Okay. So ghazal andre ಏನು, ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್ನ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ, ಗರ್ಲ್ಸ್ ಹಂಗೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಗಜಲ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಹಂಗೆ. ಓಕೆ. ದೋಸ್ ಹು ಡಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ದ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಅ girl. Okay. And then he support Nazam, that's a contemporary issues. So he supports Nazam, modern ideas of movements. And then he gave focus to the modern ideas. Okay. So he says modern ideas should be captured Okay, he doesn't say we should skip our root in the sense Urdu, like where we came from. So we have to accept it, and then we have to move on from time to time. That's called reformers, reformist. Okay, so so that's the end for the Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Got it? So literary contribution, whatever he did, right? So don't get confused about the Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. So he gave focus. I'll just write a verse. So Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was a moderate, and he was a magistrate. Okay, so he started Aligarh movement in 1817, and then, like, he generally gave focus to the social religious, social reform among Muslims. So he says social reforms should be changed. So whatever you are before, that's not necessary. That should be there, but you should not copy that same thing from time to time. He said education should be given for the both men and female. He doesn't say it only for the boys. No, he said boys and girls both equal right is there in the Islam, and you have to give that. You are no one to decide either this girl will get this right, either that girl will get this right. No. Okay, so he raised that question. Okay, dears. So I'll give the extra information about Islam. That is, in Islam, no, like in Quran, nothing that was written that girls should be depressed. Okay, so in Islam they have given a full rights to the like Muslim women. Okay, full rights to the women, and they can lead their life how they want. Okay, so for that, what you want to do, you have to read, and you have to prove yourself that you can achieve whatever you want. Believe me, children, if you are learning, if you are reading, you can be in a high position. Okay, so you have to accept, and you have to move on and believe our Almighty Allah, Devru God. We have to believe Him, and we have to move on. Okay. Yes. Now we'll move on to the another one. I'm not just telling to the girls, boys, I'm telling to you as well. You are a unique, okay? So you are also have to do some efforts so that you can prove yourself, and you can proud to your parents. Don't proud to anyone, just proud to your parents. That's it. Okay. Now next I'll, for the Wahhabi and reformist, I'll discuss later, so that you'll get an idea. But now I'll just cover the main important point and main important reform movements that's important. Okay. Now here is Theosophical movement. Okay. So Theosophical Society. So here, Madame Blavatsky, he was a Russian German lady. Okay, and then Colonel H.S. Olcott was an American. Okay, and then Asian religion, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Zoroastrian. So here, like in 1875, New York, like USA, H.B. Blavatsky and Olcott from American, they came, and they were very, like, inspired from the ancient religion of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Zoroastrian. Okay, it's all for the Hindu, Buddhist, and Zoroastrian. Okay, and then here Adyar became the headquarter in the year of 1882. The main idea of them is the message of spiritualism. Okay, from Hinduism, Buddhism, and Zoroastrian. In the previous videos, like Rajaram Mohan Rai, we learned he occupied the main points from the all books that Muslims, like Islam, Christianity, and Hinduism. So Christianity, he understood the humanity, and from the Islam he understood the equality, and from the Hinduism he understood about the spirituality. So spiritualism. So here Theosophical Society is all about it. So Theosophical, they very, they got admired from the Hinduism, Buddhism, and Zoroastrianism, that because of the spiritualism. Okay, then, like, main idea, a message of spiritualism. And then Annie Besant came. Okay, she became a member in the year of 1893, and soon she became the president of Congress. Okay, don't get confused, children. The first woman president of Congress, first woman. Okay, And who was the first Indian woman who became the president of India? Anyone? Okay, yes. The first Indian woman president was Sarojini Naidu of Indian woman. Okay, so don't get confused between these both. This is woman and this is Indian woman. Okay, and then we'll go on to the Satya Shodak Samaj. Before that, let me make you a revise of it. So in this, we'll learn in this we have learned about the Theosophical Society when it fought like in the year of 1875, New York, USA. So here in HB Blesby and Olcott from like American, and they were very admired to the ancient religion. Okay, about Hinduism, Buddhism, and Zoroastrian. And then headquarter was changed. The first headquarter was made of Theosophical Society that is in Adyar in the year of 1882. Okay, and there was message of spiritualism, and then Annie Besant came, and she became first woman president of India, and then the next Indian woman was Sarojini Naidu. Okay, and then we'll move on to the Satya Shodak Samaj. Okay, Satya Shodak Samaj was founded by, yes, Mahatma Jyotirao Phule. So here the full name of him is Mahatma Jyotirao Gopirao Phule. Okay, Mahatma Jyotirao Phule was like he was from a Mali caste. So it was founded in the year of 1873. Okay, and he written a book called Gulamgiri and Shetkarchan Azud. And he was again like he was not against, but he said like, he's divided varnas like Brahmin, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras at varnas, and avarnas Dalits. Okay, so school for Dalits, boys and girls. So here also you have to keep it in your mind, don't get confused. So boys and girls, yes, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, he said for the Muslims. And here also Jyotirao Phule, he was also telling for equal rights, school education should be give for the for whom? Yes, for the, yes, for the girls and boys. Okay, now next, so here you have to understand about like here what you have to understand, that Satya Shodak Samaj was widely spread, and he gave more importance to the Dalits. Okay, so he said like it was established in the year of 1873, right? He written a book called Gulamagiri. Okay, like slavery. And then so then next book, and he was a Mali caste. So which caste does he belong? He was belong to the Mali caste. This is a type of a caste. Okay, and he was supported from his wife, and his wife was Savitri Bai Phule. Okay, so his wife name was Savitri Bai Phule. Okay, so his wife was support his wife supported him, and then he fought, and he established based on equality. Okay, so his works importance direction established society based on equality. Okay, so Ambedkar is one of the most important people who were inspired by the work of this couple. Okay, so the most important person on this time like going to come, that is Ambedkar, right? So Ambedkar was inspired by his books, and he learned so many books, so many things about from his book. Got it? Now we'll move on to the next. Okay, so social political rights for Dalits. So he fought for the Dalits. Okay, he said like Brahmin, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras are Varnas, and Avarnas were Dalit. Now we'll move on to the Young Bengal movement. Okay, so Young Bengal movement. So this is also there. So then we'll move on like Henry Louis Vivian Derozio. So it was founded like Derozio in like 1809 and 1813 one. Okay, then largely influenced by Mazzini. So who was like he was influenced who? Henry Louis. Why it's not coming? Sorry. So Henry Louis like Derosio was influenced by Mazzini. He was a founder of Italian Association. Okay. Next, Hindu College. So see here. So Derosio, he started Young Bengal movement. Okay. So Young Bengal movement, why he started that? See, in like North India during 19th century, so he found the center at Calcutta, and he saw like everyone was fighting for him. So he learned the contribution of Brahmo Samaj. Okay. So from the Brahmo Samaj, like Rajaram Mohan Roy, from the Brahmo Samaj only, he started a movement called Young Bengal movement. Okay, that birth took place by inspired from the Brahmo Samaj. Okay, and Derosio was a Portuguese. His father was a Portuguese and his mother was an Indian. So Derosio called an Anglo-Indian. Okay, so Derosio called an Anglo-Indian. Why? Because his father was Portuguese and his mother was Indian. So that's called he was an Anglo-Indian. Huh. So then he was a professor of Hindu college. Okay, so who founded Hindu college? You know, right? So Hindu college. So in Hindu college, Raja Ram Mohan Rai was also taught history and literature, right? And then here history he taught. Who taught? Derosio. So he taught history. So when doing history only, students like debate starts. So he went to the debate and debating clubs was start. So when the debate starts, so when he was teaching, students used to admire him. So everyone used to learn about. Then he says like he gave the information about the European education, and he creating textbooks to inculcate new education system. Okay, and this was angered by many traditionalists. So in India, like a lot of members doesn't want Western education, right? So because of that, everyone goes against him. Okay, and then then he had started academic association and then debate. So many things he did across Bengal, and Derozio can't able to do so much things. Okay, why? Because no one was supporting him. So he says he gave more importance to the rational thinking. So thinking scientifically. He says we have to think scientifically and we have to give more importance to the Western culture, Western education. And also he supports women rights. Okay, and then opposed caste system. Who? Derozio. Okay, and then he joined hands in the spreading the movement across Bengal. So when he said like I am going to do whatever I want, so he did so many things during at his early age. Okay, and at the end he got died. So at the early age, in the sense he got died at the age of 22 years children. Okay, so at the age of 22 he got died in the year of 1831. So we'll think about the Young Bengal movement. We'll give a recap. Okay? So Derozio was the one who founded Young Bengal movement. So he gave more importance to education. He talks about the women rights, right? And then he talks about a Western education, right? So he starts thinking, and a lot of debates were going on, and no one supports him obviously because on that time India was so much traditional was following. So that's the reason he can't able to do so much at the early age. At the age of 22 only he died. Now we'll move on to the next and most important topic. Before that, okay, so I thought you're very curious to know about the each and everything. I am deep into it. Okay, so this is the end of your class. So we'll do a recap so that you'll get an idea. So what we learned today? So we learned from the reformer. So reformer, that is Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. Okay, so from Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, what did he give? He said he was magistrate. Okay, he said reinterpretation of Quranic, like Quran. So he said Quran should be reinterpreted, and then he opposed parda system and polygamy. Okay, he gave the reason for the parda and polygamy, and he says equal rights should be given. Okay, education should be given. And then school was started, like Aligarh Muslim University was started. Yes, but then over here, like Mohammedan Anglo Oriental College. This is very important, children. Mohammedan Anglo Oriental College was started, and in this college, oriented, Anglo oriented, you should know the meaning of Anglo, like Western culture education should be given. Okay, like Anglo from the West, Oriental must be East, with the East. Okay, Anglo oriented college, and he gave values for the East and scientific of the West, and he opposed what and all he opposed? He opposed Ghazal, right? And he gave, he changed Urdu prose writing. Okay, he criticized Ghazal, he support Nazam, right? He support Nazam, and then he said modern ideas of movement, that is Raja Rao Mohan Roy and Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. So they are called reformists. Okay. Next, we learn about the Theosophical Society. In the Theosophical Society, we learn about the Olcott, Blavatsky, how they came and what made them to admire. So they admire from the ancient religion, right? Ancient religion from the Hindu, Buddhism, and Zoroastrian. Okay, and from that they got a message of spiritualism. Okay, and here only we get a most important woman, that is Annie Besant. Okay. Next, we learn like Satya Shodak Samaj. Okay, in this lesson, we learn about the Satya Shodak Samaj. So here, don't guess like Sushant saying like no Satya Shodak Samaj. So in the Satya Shodak Samaj, we he gave more importance to the Dalits, and he also said, what did he say? Like how Sir Syed Ahmad Khan said for the women, like he said, equal rights should be both girls and boys. So here also he said both girls and boys. For the Dalit, girls and boys. Okay. Then young movement. Okay, young Bengal movement. So young Bengal movement. So in the young Bengal movement, so who found this? Derozio. Okay. So Derozio, so he did so many things at his early age. So he support Western education. He opposed caste system. Okay, and then he opposed untouchability. Okay, he was a professor of Hindu college, and there he teach history. Okay, at the age of 22 he got died. Okay, so yeah, so this is the end of your video. So I hope you understood the concept, and you will learn so many new things from this. Okay, so reformist will learn from the next video. In my next lecture I am going to provide about the reformist. Why I am giving this? See, questions from where it comes we don't know. So social and religious reform movement is very very important. So that's the reason again I am doing this. Okay, if you have seen my previous video, I did that, but in this video I am doing with a very broad way, so that you can know each and every point, and you won't blame me by saying, ma'am, you didn't teach me this. So I am not going to take that tag. So that's the reason I am doing this. And I'm sure you are also enjoying and you are also learning it. If yes, so let me know that. Okay.